So who's the best princess? Did I hear crackle?
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. All right. I think we're all ready. Flufflepuff's ready. I'm ready to show some freaking sweet stuff that we've done since last year. But first, I'd like to do a quick intro so you can meet who's up here. And yeah, let's do that first. First we have Button, who is our HR rep, if you'd like to talk a little bit on that.
Hi, I'm Button. I'm in charge of co-leading HR. I also do some moderation and some script implementation for the team. So I kind of help out wherever I can.
All right. When you have a team of about 100 people, you'd be surprised how important HR really is to communicate. It's actually surprising. We didn't realize until about a year ago that we really could use somebody who's actually helping out there. All right, my name is Savannah Pope. I am the design director for Legends of Equestria, and we do designs and stuff, and VFX too.
I'm Nat Cloth. I do programming. I'm in charge of all the artificial intelligence, the fights, the quest systems, and all the interfaces that you guys see.
And I'm Bluesbump, the 3D lead for Legends of Equestria. I do all the 3D modeling, well, some of it at least, and check on the art and make sure that everything is in quality control in terms of the 3D stuff. All right, so first we're going to go over some stuff that some of you may have already seen, some who are potentially new to the game at the con have not. This is our pony creator. Got a new interface about a year ago, which I really enjoy. And Nat's actually going to go through and build a pony, but the thing is, we need your help. So, first, we need to pick a race. wait. All right. I'm gonna say each race, and then let's just raise your hands so we don't have to do a shouting match. Okay. Let's do it for Earth Ponies. Earth Pony. How about unicorns? All right, a little more. And Pegasus ponies?
Woo, Pegasus!
All right, I think we know. All right, so for this interface, we have a lot of common things that you can change: eyes, size, race, color, styles. One thing that I always like to point out on this interface, that was one of the goals of the original designer, was that to use as few words as possible so that you can visually communicate the changes that you want to make. The old interface, it was just like words and then what it did, and I think that the iconography really helps in this one. So I think Nat might just use his color theory skills to pick the most beautiful one. Red, neon green. We actually did have a discussion about reducing the saturation allowances in the game, just so you couldn't do a jet black on red, but that looks pretty good. I kind of like that red and black actually.
Well, I'm going with that.
All right. All right. All right. Everyone's equal, at least balance-wise. All right, so let's get into the game and show you some new things since last year. No. All right. Being a Pegasi, naturally you'd spawn in Cloudopolis. You can fly. All right. So the first thing that we wanted to go over with you is sort of changes to the mechanics to actually create more interesting content that is directly gameplay and not so much visuals. And to this end, what our good friend Nat over here has been working on very hard is to update the quest systems so that we support more functionality. And I believe Nat has a demo quest, which he's flying through to get to. I don't know if I want to give it away, but the basics you may be familiar with from pretty much every other game, but to implement these, especially in an MMO with server-client communications, turned out to be pretty tough. So the things that are going to be shown are kill tracking, timers, and ability tracking. And essentially what this means is, in any given quest or in any given moment that you're helping a character out in the world, they can ask you to do things, or they can ask you to help people. And instead of what you've seen so far in Legends of Equestria, where it's sort of just, gather X item or, go to X NPC to get through dialogue to go to the next NPC, we're trying to introduce more active conventions that you may be used to in other games. So an NPC can tell you to go slay the dragon, and now we can record that you slayed the dragon to progress you along. Timers, for my ultimate goal that I've had for years for this game, was to recreate a Bigger-on Sword style quest in Ocarina of Time, where you actually feel that time constraint for perishable items. Like, you're gathering food for the cooking talent mark. Well, that food's gonna go bad if it's the freshest sushi from Cantermore and you need to bring it to Cloudopolis. There's a lot of interesting things that we can do, and this gives our writers and implementers just a lot more power. Are we there yet? It's a long haul from Cloudopolis to Ponydale. Unless you take the train. Oh wait, there's no train. I'm sorry. You'd have to take the balloon to the train. All right, we're almost there.
Keep in mind that sometimes some stuff happens in the show, which means that sometimes we don't always keep up with everything in the show because we would have no way or know how to make all the assets that are similar to the show. It would take too long time to do that.
As much as we would like to keep up with the show, they move at a pretty breathtaking pace and destroying entire assets, creating new ones out of thin air. It's tough to keep up with that. But we do try our best.
Yeah, I remember like in season 5 and the latest season, I think that the art style of the show has changed a little bit, so it's much prettier. And I think also that the gradients and stuff became more art styley compared to the earlier seasons. So.
All right, I think we are at the demo quest.
Yeah.
Matt, you'd like to Should we read it? Do we have to read it? Oh no, this is... Just think that you're all grown up and ready to brave the Evershade.
Definitely not.
Come on, we can do it.
Maybe.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Come on, we're outgoing. We can do it.
Do it!
Your funeral. I haven't seen many charge headlong and come back out.
What do I need to do?
Do it! No backing down. All right. I'm not going to continue reading if you can see it.
We need
But
to
I
collect
would.
7 mushrooms. We only have 2 minutes to do it.
Oh shit!
We're not gonna
All
make
right.
it.
All right. You better watch out. I believe the countdown currently is still command line.
Yeah.
Command line.
Yeah.
But yes, we will be making an interface for it, definitely. Yes. We're never removing /stuck. It's tough to fill all the holes in the world. But yeah, while Matt is very quickly doing this, 2 minutes, I just wanted to touch upon the dialogue engine that you saw earlier. One interesting thing to note is you saw talking to this NPC, you see the 3D model of the character appear over your dialogue and the options you have. We actually have 2 engines for major NPCs.
Ooh, we didn't collect enough.
You're not gonna have enough time.
We're not gonna make it.
You're Pegasi. Why aren't you flying? Yeah! Okay. How many do you need?
7. We're good.
All right. You bet. I don't know. I think we're...
Yay! We did it!
Wow. This NPC is tough to impress. Jeez.
We barely made it. Oh, now we need to fight some stuff. We need to use ground pound on hornets 5 times.
And one of the main reasons that we wanted to have tracking based on the ability you used is we break the game up into a series of talent marks that you get to choose the one that you focus in on top of your race and race-specific attributes that you get. And so in order to learn about these talent marks, we have trainers who kind of teach you in the beginning. Wow, is it the battle? We also added battle music, so we have some kind of ambient world. Well, tough ropes. Maybe we should have listened to that NPC.
Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen?
Did you get 5 hits in? All right, see you later.
Oh, we got enough.
You did?
Yeah.
All right. Luckily, you got that 5th in before that bee took you down.
Apparently, we're not ready.
We also have markers. I'm sure anybody who's played in any of our previous events have noticed that it's hard to figure out where you're going because we didn't have the most concise map system. Now we actually have mini markers on the map, which will show you where NPCs are, where your updated quests are, giving you hints as to where to travel. So there's a lot more feedback so you won't get entirely lost. We're still waiting for the overworld map, as in you open up a nice book and you see the whole world. But that's actually one of the last steps after we lock it.
Yeah, I'm killing.
All right. Oh, you got this one. Is that enough? Is what was the pony's name? 710.
Let's see. Oh, we killed one. Killed two more.
Okay.
I don't think we can make it.
Do it. Oh, you know. All right. So this is a good time to talk a bit about these sort of quests. This one's hitting you. I don't know. You'd probably want to start at a bit easier area than this.
We need some more armor.
Yeah. Come on! Oh. All right, lucky, but without a medic with you, I'm not sure how you're gonna heal up in time, though.
We need a
Get the
unicorn
loot.
here, stat!
All right. I think you're just gonna have to just bite me. All right. You're just gonna have to. All right, one more. So.
We'll go after the weak one.
And I know this is this might be something you'd expect, but it's pretty incredible the depth and the range you can get from just what's being demoed here, and a lot farther than just sort of what you'd imagine to be the stereotype in a game. I think we have some crack shot writers on our team, and they do such a fantastic job of making NPCs such as this one, where, you know, they kind of have an attitude or a character to them. And, you know, that really helps to not just be the sort of mundane, hey, who are you, X character? Go get me 50,000 mushrooms for my giant stew that I need for some reason. Oh, he's spawning back in.
Yeah, I think the area will be a death, though.
Oh yeah, this would be we could touch on it wouldn't be complete without the very subtle bugs. All right.
Let's see who can actually switch zones.
Oh, so that's a very interesting topic. For those of you who don't know, we had this glitch where you could like scoot on your butt without moving, and there was a very big rift in the team as to whether or not to keep this or not, because on the one hand, on the one hand, it is a glitch. There's no animation. It looks a bit silly. On the other hand, every single person likes it. So our ultimate decision was we'll create an animation for it. So it's not just like hover scooting. It's actually like on your ground with the hooves. So yeah, going bug to feature. That's... All right. Oh, I think we have
the face scooting.
face. Well, I mean, we're gonna diversify our scooting as much as we can, but all right. So Nat just had to restart the server real quick, so I am going to shamelessly expand for time.
Well, a funny thing about butt scooting is when I actually added in all the new ability systems and the leveling systems, I accidentally fixed butt scooting. So I had to actually add it back in so that everyone wouldn't be mad about it.
That's a re-break butt scooting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to start up.
All right. The last thing I did want to touch upon with creatures and things like that is at the last convention we talked about experience sharing, and this is how when you're in a party, you're going to inherently get more experience than when you're alone. And it's not going to be a lot, it's a small amount, but the notion is that, you know, sometimes I've seen other games where just going it alone can be maximally efficient because you've isolated every variable but yourself. So we wanted to give a little bit of help to group play, and also because, of course, friendship is magic, and we like to see parties going out and experiencing the world together. So, so that's experience sharing between players. Now, between talent marks is something that is new. So what that means is that if I use an ability, say, from combat, which is a very basic, like seismic buck, or ground pound like Nat was using, what I actually defeat with that ability will gain experience towards that talent mark. Whereas if I use, say, a flying ability like Gale or Feather Force, the experience would go towards flying. And in this system, we're trying to pacify this sort of notion of leveling up as much as possible. Think of Skyrim, where, you know, you're not really actively managing your level system much until you want to sort of buy new things. So, how are we on the? We need just one more beat. I just wanna beat this now. Oh, all right, great. So that was a little bit about the new quest systems that you'll be experiencing. Lots of fun stuff for our writers to play with. The next new thing that we want to talk about, which I sort of started already with, is the talent mark system. Now this is sort of the core level gameplay mechanics system in our game. And what Nat has on the screen is showing our new interface by Vector, our 2D lead. And how it works is there is a certain number of talent marks you can see on the left-hand part of the screen. You'll pick your talent mark based on your race, and there's a lot of general ones to pick from too. And you get access to all the abilities and the ability upgrades in that talent mark. So for example, let's see. On partying, all of the pink dots are actually going to be your abilities, and the teal dots are your upgrades. So you may be used to a mechanic like this, and I think it's a really nice way to go because it's a good middle ground between not overloading you with abilities, but allowing those abilities to change and grow over time, and also to not have abilities sort of age out. I hate when you get an ability for like level 1, and by the time you're level 50, it's useless. So your abilities are going to stay relevant all game and get better as you do. Yeah, the upgrades, they vary widely. So you can have an upgrade that may just increase the range of an attack, or you can have an upgrade that inherently changes the attack. Or you could have an upgrade for, say, the crafting system, one of my favorites, deployable forge. So you can actually make armor anywhere instead of having to go to the smithy to do that. So the other main component I wanted to talk about, which is one of the more unique things I believe about Legends of Equestria, is that you're not locked to the talent mark you pick. And by this I mean, even though you pick one talent mark and you get everything in that, all the other talent marks, you can use abilities from them in a shared pool. So in this system, you can have up to 20 or 30 abilities, 4 or 5 of which will be your staple core abilities that you'll be the best at. But you can still diversify, you can still try out other talent marks, you could try out combat, flying, partying, medical. And in this way, I think it gives it just a lot more, it just stays refreshed more. You know, you're not locked to just 4 or 5 abilities, even though those abilities change over time.
That's with their step too.
All right. Yeah, so that was a little bit about how you get a shared pool of abilities and you have your own talent mark abilities. Not only do you have that designation, but the highest tier, like level 50 late game content, only is in your talent mark. So you're going to be the best flyer if you pick flying. And that's how we sort of prioritize it, where, you know, we want you to generalize to enjoy all the content in the game, but ultimately specialization in what you picked is going to make you the best at that thing. Yeah, so that is all new interface stuff, and oh yeah. Yeah, the networking, we've had friends for quite a while, you know, being able to add, remove your own friends. But what has improved greatly is the back-end networking, thanks to Nat and our server guy, Go Fish. So friends are a lot snappier, adding, removing friends, adding them to your party from your friends list. Kind of common things that you'd expect, but you know, quite challenging when building it from the ground up. All right. I think that is about all we have on talent marks. I have a little diagram prepped for later, but for now, did you just add this? No! It will.
Once he
Oh yeah, this is some of the really nice guard AI. So Nat over here is essentially an AI specialist, and just to talk about some of the things that he's done, do you want to just go over this one? Yeah, so another new feature. Another new feature that you're going to see in our next open server event.
Yeah, he doesn't like us very much.
Cardio. You gotta keep moving. We need that heart rate up. All right. So another new feature that you're gonna see, and this expands upon the quests that we talked about earlier, the timers and XP tracking, kill tracking. Now guards. Did you go somewhere?
Yeah.
All right, so now a guard, instead of just saying, you know, go find the hospital in some random place, the guard will show you where it is. And this is, again, to sort of fix the initial feedback that we got of, this is such a large world, how do I know where anything is, on top of the mini-map improvements. And some of the best things that we don't have in our live demo here, but you can expect to see in the next event is also escorting. So think like pony mercenaries that you can hire to help you with, say, clearing out those bees in Evershade. So that's actually the most exciting thing that So yeah, having the ability to escort is going to be great. Again, more quest functionality. We can have ponies that aren't so helpless, because not only will they follow you, but they'll help you defeat mobs. The NPCs have an entire system of how they use abilities, which is essentially the system you use too. So they're pretty much, although not quite as clever as players, they have some things they don't have to worry about, like energy as much. So all right, so that was escorting. All right, next I think we're gonna go over armor and items. So the last time that you saw this, and maybe in the last open server, we have a pretty in-depth, at least I'd like to think, item system where you can, pick an item. We have 8 slots for your character. You get items, you create items, you find items. Pretty much it's open to whatever you'd like. And this is our sort of, let's see, equip screen. And all you have are socks. So yeah, you would put items here. Unfortunately, our items got wiped out, but somehow the socks stayed, so that's good. And the other thing I wanted to talk about a bit was harmonizing. So one connection that I like to make is if you think anyone here ever played Fable, when you had a sweet bow and you got to put your like augments on it? Well, harmonies are essentially our version of that with a couple unique twists to them, but that's coming soon. All right. All right, so we have a Blued here all the way from Europe, and I'd like to give him a chance to talk a little bit about sort of our items and like our 3D process behind them, because from what you see to how you start, it's very complex.
All right, so what we do is we usually get some kind of design idea or something that Savannah Pope here tells us 3D members to do. And after that, I give orders to the 3D members, or I do it myself, where we create the assets for them by using either the base pony that we have on the screen right now, or we just have a scale pony that we use, so we compare it to the size of the world. So in case something gets off scale, we know that for sure when we have the scale pony. And the thing about when we make something is we have to think about how much polygons it has. So if like 100 people is in the same area, it doesn't lag the server because or the game for a person who has a different computer and or like a really bad laptop. Who knows what you guys are playing with, but I personally use Windows 7 because I think it's the best OS. And usually when it comes down to design, we also check with the animators in case something needs to be added or something needs to be removed, in case the weight painting, the movement of the character makes it clip through the armor or anything else like that. And we also check with the designers in case there's anything else that needs to be added to it, so it kind of looks like how it was designed from the concept art. And after that, it goes to the process of the 2D team who do the textures to it. So we also check with them in case something else needed to be fixed. All right, Savannah Pope, you want to take it over?
Sure. Yeah, the items are no easy feat, especially getting the animations in. That is very tough. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a very hidden content dress. So, all right. Okay. So. Yeah. All right, so the next thing that I'd like to go over is another new area. All right. The next new thing that I'd like to go over is still a work in progress. Yeah. I honestly wasn't even sure if I was going to share it with you, but I'm really excited, so I'm just going to do it. So mine is sort of the diagrammatic nature, unfinished textures. Yeah, we got to go. All right. All right, quick swap. So I just had to run it in Unity to get you. There we go. Oh, it's really laggy. Just go. Okay. So anyway, one last area of focus that I believe is going to be sort of the final area. Or I should say type of areas in our game. Again, pushing this sort of gameplay. You've seen the world, now we want to make fun things for you to do, is our dungeons. And these are going to be of two different types primarily. The one that I'm going to show you now is is a sort of more traditional style dungeon where, you know, almost anything can happen. You can have a branching sort of layout or a linear layout. You can have characters who ask you to get things, and you can have like a final creature or boss at the end. The other style is more of a challenge system, and the primary idea for a challenge dungeon is essentially, if you've played any of the Zelda games, when you just keep going down those pits and you fight harder and harder mobs, we found that this was a really great balance between difficulty of implementation and sort of the amount of fun you get out of it, because you can always make harder instances. You can make instances where groups are necessary, where, you know, more of a particular talent mark or race is necessary than another. So there's a lot of mixes you can do here. For the Bramble Woods, I focused more on sort of a platforming area. So if you can see, it's very diagrammatic as there's floating ponies. But the sort of curtains here are going to be no-fly, no teleport zones. As vine walls. I'm trying to logically describe this. I hate like invisible walls or really gamey systems. So we're going to have sort of thick vines covering the area as a tool to not let you just teleport across the whole map, because unfortunately unicorns sort of at their base have some benefits from being able to teleport. So some other exciting things that we're going to be bringing you. You can see these green spheres here. They don't do much now, but these are going to be environmental effects. So the Bramble Woods, of course, is going to be full of brambles. So if you step in these bushes, you're going to be slowed by a significant amount. Don't go in them. It doesn't work. But, all right. I got it. All right. So anyway, you come in here. I have some setups. This is where you're going to fight some of your initial mobs. This is where the platforming starts a bit. So I'm going to be a little bad because this is a bit laggy, but you're not going to really want to fall in there because it's going to be all brambly and like get all in your fur, and it's just really annoying to clean out.
And then you'll have to look at the faint animation again.
So, oh gosh, I'm pretty good at it. I've had some practice. So the red is going to be where mobs are going to spawn. So I've taken a lot of actual research into how to create this, how to sequentially sort of introduce players to new functionality and new situations in a way that remains challenging but not overwhelming. So a good example is how, if you saw that initial red patch, there wasn't really that many of the green sphere bushes around. I don't want players to have to worry about environmental effects on top of, you know, mobs attacking them. All right, so this is our more intense platformer. I'm not going to be able to go in too much depth, but there's actually 3 choices. If you're feeling particularly skilled, and I'm not right now on this slightly laggy monitor, but if you are, you can hop across the left side. You could take the center route sort of through the hilly area, or you could take the right route, which is the simplest platforming wise, but you can see there's sort of a red mob spawn over there. So you'd have to face mobs that'll potentially slow you down. So I'm going to try the left side, but I don't think I'm going to have much luck in it. Okay. I've timed it so that I can do all of them, but... Ooh. It's tough. When it's not laggy, and after you've had some practice. Let's see if I can do the rest. Okay. All right. And you can see these giant orange walls. This is how we're preventing you from just flying through or teleporting through. Okay. Okay. I messed up. All right. All right, so moving along, I'm not going to spend too much more time, but the yellow bushes, new environmental factor. Imagine hitting a bush and you rustled some bees in it. Yeah, not fun. Or how about this? I know it's a bit of a stretch, but imagine you entered a gigantic beehive and you had to fight, potentially a mini boss bee? I don't know. So I'm going to run through this again, very diagrammatic, but I wanted to just share with you sort of the ideas that we had for platforming and what you might actually experience. Yellow, sticky honey. Don't want to step in that. You're going to be slowed by a lot. Water, clean you off. So essentially at this point, something would be attacking me. It's pretty easy so far. You don't want to touch those red spheres though, because they are no fun and there's going to be bees spawning out at you and it's just going to get overwhelming quick. But this area is also designed for parties, so you're going to have friends to back you up, hopefully a healer and a musician to sort of improve your chances. See, I would have been slowed by a significant amount there. All right, so it gets pretty hard up here. I'm gonna try to make it. I'm still tweaking the balance here because how hard it needs to get is gonna be tough. But you'd eventually get to the top, and this is where you can actually fight the bee. It's not attacking you sort of from its lofty, campy spot in the middle. So yeah, and the premise behind this area is it's a wildlands in the heartlands, and there's been some lost ponies that have, well, gotten lost in here, and you can rescue them if you like. It's not a requirement, but if you're so willing to feel very helpful and, you know, wanting to, you know, also sort of get the rewards that you get from rescuing them, you're free to do that. We do not have that, unfortunately. But we do have an entire music talent mark, so if you want to be playing music and using your music to help your allies sort of do better in just about everything. All right, so that's pretty much all I had for now. It's pretty rough. This last area that we're going through is the most open one of them all. This is where I'm going to be challenging the party the most. Depending on how big the party is, you can split up to divide and conquer. One area would be where I just showed along that top. Another area would be kind of through this sort of maze section on the rivers, which you have to be careful with because there's going to be mobs in there and water, which slows you down and you can't really attack in that. And then the third area, oh god, I'm going to get stuck. Yeah, I'm going to have to use it. The third area is going to be a doozy. It's too hard right now, but essentially it's going to be some pretty tough platforming. I just felt. So yeah, I will attempt this, but I'm not sure how successful I'm going to be. All right. Wish me luck. Okay, so
you can do it.
Oh. Not good. I swear I'd be better. It's the lag. It's the lag. It's the lag. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. So MLG. All right. So I was really excited to share this with you because I feel like the main thing that our fans have been asking for is, well, what do we actually do? There's a lot of cool things to look at, and, having our, oh no. Don't worry, I have planned a very good reset system for this area too, so it's not going to be that frustrating if you fall. What's that? It sounds hard. Okay. All right. And there's no... All right, this is the hardest part, so we can do it. I'm going to take the easiest route because I know which one it is. Okay. All right. This is gonna be hard.
Don't record this because otherwise it will be cheating once it gets released.
Uh-oh. I don't know if I made these distance enough. Oh. Oh gosh, where do I go from here? I don't know. You think I can make it? I don't know. This one looks hard. All right. Well, you can get the idea. And here would have been our fateful pony who somehow got lost in this very, very difficult area. All right. So I think that's pretty much all we have. So we covered a lot of new things. The big push here was getting those quests more interactive, more things that you can do that directly involve the world. On top of it, the talent mark system. We have new platforming dungeons that we're really excited to get you some things to test your skills, your jump skills. And we would also like... Okay. All right, so I wouldn't leave quite yet because there's something big that I'd like to reveal to BronyCon only. And then eventually everyone else, but BronyCon first. All right. Let's go with the lower key one. All right. We are going to have another open server weekend, July 29th. All right. Now, I'm excited. I'm hoping we can get some of these systems in for you to test, help us out. But that's not all. If I could have a drum roll, that would be sweet. All right. I would like to announce that coming this December, we will be opening the game for a limited access constant release. What that means is that we are going to be trickling in to test the server capabilities, balance load, continuously. This is our rolling release. December. Get hype. All right, we're so excited. We've been here so many years, and
we're gonna release this game.
And everyone on this panel has just been here, gosh, for years. Blood's been the heaviest hitter, I think, out of all of us. To get so close and to really see it coming together, I'm just excited. All right, I think that's about... Yeah, so that is all the new stuff we have to show. Big announcements. Tell your friends. 29th of this month and December we'll keep you posted from our PR about how that limited access release is going to go. We're going to open it up for some Q&A now for these last couple minutes.
Microphone is on this side over here. That's my question.
Yeah. All right.
We love all of you. You want to go? Don't move. Okay.
I think Nat's taking a panorama picture.
Nat, are you playing Pokemon Go right now? This is not the time.
No, I was playing Panorama.
Okay, testing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. For a lot of things, I already have done something, a live stream back then for Legends of Equestria, so here it is. I'm planning on doing another one once y'all do the open server one day. My only question is, how long did it took y'all to just make it from the beginning?
Oh, I think Bluid could expand upon that.
I think we started at about December 2011, or like earlier than that. But the name Legends of Equestria was something else before that. But I know that for a fact that I joined the team during when it became Legends of Equestria. So it was about, I would say about January somewhere 2012. So I've been there since then. Right.
All right, quick thing. I'm just gonna do a quick shameless plug before more people leave. If you're interested in any way of getting involved in Legends of Equestria, go on our website and check it out. We do rolling sort of new member admissions, so just look at a position you might be interested in. Don't hesitate to just email, ask any questions.
HR is hiring you guys. Go apply.
All right, I have 2 questions. One. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll just skip my technical question gripe and go to the content question. I was wondering, in the future, in terms of like either like a holiday annual skin release or as a permanent class, will we ever get bat ponies?
We are going to have bat ponies as a cosmetic item. So you'll be able to equip costumes, and the bat pony will be a costume.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing, just chilling. Okay, so I noticed that the last time I played, there was some NPCs that used the 2D vector art, and then there was some that used the in-game models. So which one are you going to go with?
Our 2D art will be mostly our main character staff for the main quest line and things like that, because we have a little bit of a limited 2D department on that, and so the main characters will have 2D art, while the rest of them will have the normal 3D.
Hey, oh, that's weird hearing myself in the speaker. Do you ever plan to have an optional, like better shaders and graphics for people with better graphics hardware on their PCs? Because like with this, the simple regular and cell shading is like simplistic for some people who have better hardware.
I'm sorry, but the only ways you can actually increase the graphics on the settings is just to add shadows to the game in the options menu, or change the quality of the texture and the LODs on the game itself.
It requires a lot of art assets to make them, and we have a little bit of a limited team with art, so we're trying to make new areas as best as we can instead of, so.
Actually, I got one more. Are y'all more focused? I noticed in the game that there were some parts of the homes that are digging into the ground. How far dedicated are you going to? Are y'all working on the landscape portions or the characters between them two?
So we work on them in tandem for sure. The entire writing team and implementation team are focusing on characters, 3D, 2D, animation. Animation works on characters too. And then 3D, 2D design, implementation work on mesh placement. So if you see a floating tree or something, it's probably maybe my fault or a couple other implementers. Those are really low level at this point. That'll be sort of the final polish, fixed floating objects thing. But that stuff happens in tandem.
We're definitely gonna fix those though.
Yeah.
In respect to customization and also, as the other asker mentioned, graphics hardware, will there be any availability for modding? So adding in our own textures, adding in possibly our own models to make stuff look better if we want to?
Currently, there will be no like open, like toolkit, and we're still in discussions. I can't really say any more about it, about how much of the content or any of the content we would like to release to allow for more easy modification, such as like the whole Unity project on a GitHub or something. So we're still in discussions with that. It's very tough considering a team of like 100 people over the course of 5 years getting like just the giving people credit is very challenging in that. But we're trying. We'd like to let people expand the life of the game even beyond us.
Thank you for coming.
Are you going to name the main bee boss Bumbledore?
Bumbledore. I like that name.
Mention that on Twitter.
the main
LOE.
Yeah, the bee boss that I had talked about, it's not going to be a major one, but it's sort of one of the classic ways that we get the most bang for our buck. So, and some people may call this a bit sort of cheaty, but most games do it because it's useful and it gives you more content. So you have 3 bees, 2 have a recolor. 1 is a recolor of the original, 1 is a recolor and a size change of the original, and they all have different abilities. It helps a lot, so that's how we handle it.
What's up?
Hey there.
By the time I got here, I heard a rumor that that this game was gonna in the near future gonna come to Xbox One and PS4. Is that rumor true, or?
I like that rumor.
Or am I just?
Unfortunately, not.
Oh, sorry.
I would love that.
Okay, so my question is about the control system. Do you have any plans to add a customizable control system? I asked this mostly because the last open server test you guys had, I noticed that the characters handled much differently than before. S used to backpedal, now it does not. It turns it around in like a 180 degree or so, and it made it very, very awkward to do things. And just running around the world, I found at that time was very difficult to do. Do you have a means to customize it so that you don't have to deal with that sort of thing? Because as an MMO player, you don't want to get into the habit of keyboard turning.
That one was kind of discussed a lot on the team, and I think at some point we're definitely going to add an option for that.
Yeah, the funny thing is you really honed down into like a core movement issue that we discussed. The initial idea was we wanted ponies to be more realistic, and realistic ponies can't go from facing this direction to this direction instantly. We learned that because it's a game, you have to let people do that. So that sort of like pivoting where I have to like sort of snake my way, we're gonna remove that. You can just flip directions. Yeah, we learned through testing that that's one thing where we can't quite have realism for gameplay.
I apologize. Oh, sorry, Joe. I apologize in advance. I'm kind of being that guy right now. Did you fix this? I'm sorry.
It's cool.
But
we didn't.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you knew about the problem with NPC quest relationships, in the sense that if one NPC is involved in multiple quests, you'll complete one, and then that NPC will be broken if you want to do the next one.
Yeah, we fixed that last open server with a lot of the quests.
Okay.
So we're definitely working on those ones.
All right, thank you for that.
I actually have one smaller question and another question. So my smaller question is, other than like Pegasi being able to fly and the other obvious stuff like that, are there any differences between choosing Unicorn Pegasi or Earth Pony?
Yes, there are inherent differences on top of that. So I won't go into too much detail, but on top of flying, teleporting, and Earth Pony's special abilities, which is actually going to be digging, on top of that, you also have custom passive abilities that will increase. So like Earth Ponies naturally will become slightly more tanky. Unicorns will naturally become slightly more resistant to magic. So there's also passive improvements that come with picking your race.
And we only have one more question, but we'll be outside the hall, and you are welcome to talk to us after.
So my question is, when you do actually release the game, is it going to be like, are you going to have to pay for the game, or is it like a monthly subscription, or?
No, it'll be free, and it'll be open all the time, so you can just download it and play it.
All right, that's great.
It costs 1 Luna picture a month.
You can't play it if your favorite pony is Celestia.
That's it. Thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you, everybody.
Right.
We love you all.
We'll be out in like the hall area.
We will be outside the hall if you would like to talk to us more. Unfortunately, we have to clear the room. So everyone, please exit the room.